So what are we going with?
Reasoning?
I like
This
that.
is a podcast.
I'm just gonna go ELLiNGTONE.
With Simz.
We're just two guys.
You want to hear it.
There's a lot of shit going on.
Listen to it, see what comes out.
Why are we back here?
If people knew the road and
Oh
the
my-
journey it's taken to get to this point, and that was all silence is mad. Do you know what?
Oh, bro,
We do it for the viewership.
Fam,
We do it
when
for
I-
the. You know what I mean?
I hope people appreciate this because when I went home last night, obviously we had to record a little bit later.
Yeah.
So by the time I got home, I was like, right, this would be easy. Extract the audio, maybe clean it up a little bit, spend maybe 10, 15 minutes on it. Obviously, I know the software. Boom, sorted. Schedule it for upload. And then
Not so easy.
Fam, and then I was close to tears.
Not
You know,
that straightforward.
have you ever been so like expectant of something good?
Yeah.
Because obviously the visuals, clean.
Yeah.
But then I've taken it home and I've extracted the audio. And all I hear is,
the hissiest of hisses, man.
Fam,
It bees like that sometimes. It bees like that.
my
It bees
laptop
like that.
almost went Superman in the
Wow.
living room, fam.
Oh, wow.
I almost but you know, you just have to find yourself and say, calm down.
Compose
Calm
and just
down.
be like, it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean?
Fam, I was fuming.
So,
but yeah.
but the topics were flying as well. So, but it's all good, man. At least
know what?
that was like a pre kind of.
That was our warm up. That
at
was
least.
all that. Because you know what? It's funny.
Yeah.
Today, I feel less anxious
Yeah, true.
because
true.
I've heard it. Obviously we did like pretty much 3-4 weeks of run through, but that was more to see how it looked
exactly.
and how it sounded. We weren't really discussing content or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I was happy with the content yesterday, so I was like, right, that's one thing checked off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think the good thing about like you and I is we've been friends for so long.
Yeah.
It's never awkward conversations. It's never
Yeah.
structured. There's never
just flows.
I was like, in my head, the last thing I was thinking about is, what are we going to talk about? Are we going to have to rehash the same conversation?
Yeah.
Not really, because we know it. You know what I mean? It's not a talk show where we have scheduled things to talk about.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was just like, but bruv. And I didn't even sleep because obviously by the time I've gotten home and I've noticed this, you've gone to bed and I'm texting you like, fam, we need to do this game. Like, this can't run.
See, when I woke up and I saw those disaster messages, and I was just like, because when I got the notification, obviously, when I woke up and I saw it, I was just like, oh, yeah, that would be just him saying, like, oh, bless, that's it, done. Here's the link, whatever, that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Nope.
And then I saw the first message, and I was just like, oh.
Stress.
But yeah, man, it's blessed. In any event, like when you're dealing with equipment and all these things and trying to get the setup absolutely spot on and right, that's what you go through. Do you know what I mean? That's what happens. So,
But fam.
and saying that, I'll need to remember to keep this. But
Yeah, man.
it's
But
blessed.
like, honestly, like when I didn't even sleep well because I was like, what if he's too busy to re-record? Then I'm going to have to do one of two things. Do an actual hash job of like fixing the audio, which is going to be like pointless putting out.
Yeah.
Or I tell everyone, I know our first episode was supposed to I don't like setting the, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
delaying it, and I'm just like,
set the expectation and say Friday comes.
and you see
Yeah.
me, I'm a man like, if I say I'm gonna do something, especially if I say I'm gonna do it by a certain date, by hook or by crook, it's getting done.
It's getting done,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like sometimes I'll set myself deadlines to make sure that I do it and I do it properly.
Yeah.
Once I've done that and I've figured out the routine and the blueprint, it's plain sailing after that. Like I'm a man like, once I figure like this setup, the camera and stuff, the lighting, we've figured that out.
Yeah.
So you see me, I'm taking photos of everything, so I've got an actual visual of where things are supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like, and then obviously what this will sound like.
True
so,
say, man.
But yeah, man.
Bless, man. So apart from the technicals and all of those and the setup issues, how's your week been? How you living?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
What's going on?
Good. I've actually, I was talking about this earlier before, but I've tried to, this week in particular, I've tried to not eat red meat at least. So Monday I made a what's it called? What do you call it? A tagliatelle, mushroom tagliatelle.
Oh, okay.
And, apologies to anybody of Italian descent because I've just butchered your whole
Flipping
language.
tables, outrage. What?
Tagliatelle. By the way, my new favorite emoji.
Oh wow.
There's an emoji update came a few weeks ago, and this is in it.
Okay.
This thing is getting flying.
seen that.
This thing is flying in everyone's comments, bro. Unprovoked.
Do you know what's crazy about that though? Like that in I don't know, is it Kenya or Malawi? One it's the utmost offensive gesture you
real.
can do to someone, like that hand action.
Right.
So it's always funny because it's like, obviously, back home in Zimbabwe, it's like, it don't mean a thing. Do you know what I mean? There's other slants on that. There's other things. Like, there's even parts of the country where putting up your little finger like that, your pinky at someone, is the equivalent of the middle finger.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And it's just like, where do all these things come from?
That's true, you know.
Once
Like,
upon a
where?
time, if someone has done that hand action to someone and someone's taken offense, then all of a sudden it's a widespread thing of,
Fam,
oh,
that's
you
a-
don't do that. That means...
That's some Shakespearean thing. Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? Like, what? The,
Do you know what I mean?
Man are flinging up pinky fingers and jousting in the in the town centre, bro.
Exactly. But even the middle finger, like...
Where did that come from?
Oh, for any finger, you can put
No,
up-
so
what's the origin of
I've
that?
never fact checked this, but as you said that, I think I know where it's come from. I think what happened was if you were an archer and you got caught by your ops, they would cut off that finger. No, I think it's either this gesture or the middle finger.
Right.
They would cut off the fingers, and the opposition would then throw those fingers and wave them at basically where your team to be like, we've got your archer's fingers.
Right.
As a sense of like, they just basically boying you off, like,
Wow.
like we have got your archer's fingers.
Yeah.
He's useless to you. Ha ha ha. I
Wow.
think that's where I'm gonna fact check that, but I actually think that's where it
That's
came
one
from.
hell of a taunt, to take someone's finger
Right?
and then wave them at his boys.
But you know what's funny? Like that's it's kind of similar to when people get kidnapped and they send a digit through, like they send a finger through the
Bit
post.
different though, because that
Slightly.
person you've kidnapped is probably not a concert pianist. Do you know what I mean? That person you've kidnapped could be anything.
Just some
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, some
But when
any
it's
guy.
specifically the fingers, the parts of the body that person uses to make a living, it's different.
It's like if they took a footballer and just cut
Yeah.
off his ankle and was like, haha,
Exactly.
or his toes or whatever. But yeah, I think that's where it come from. But yeah, so tagliatelle on Monday, mushroom tagliatelle. Mushroom is like, I won't turn down any food except celery. I will not eat that.
Right.
And mushrooms in certain contexts. So I'll have mushrooms in tagliatelle on pizza.
Yeah.
But you see when the man them are like fry it up and just put it on your plate.
Yeah.
And it's all slimy and that.
Yeah.
I can't deal with
Bro,
that.
I love
can't-
mushrooms.
I can't
In
do-
any,
you're a mushroom guy,
in any
yeah?
event, I love mushrooms. Like in anything, in any dish, in any onions as well. I used to hate onions, but I absolutely love onions. Cheese, used to hate cheese.
Serious?
Absolutely hate cheese. As I got older, I've just started to love cheese,
Refine the
mushrooms,
taste.
onions, all these things that used to. But one thing that I've never come around to is Marmite. That has always been and will always be a thing for me, where I'm just like, even the smell, it's sickly.
Do you know
And it
what's
makes me
funny?
feel like
I've smelt Marmite, but I've never actually tasted it.
Mm-hmm.
It's mad. Yeah, I've smelt Marmite. Maybe do you know what we should do?
yeah,
On the show one day, we should have a range of things
Yeah.
that we don't eat,
yeah.
or things that are like things that people just don't eat, and basically just try them for ourselves, like
Yeah.
on camera, and just be like, right,
And see what the fuss is, yeah.
Because I know
true.
celery. I have not eaten celery in so long. I don't know what it tastes like, but
Yeah.
the smell alone is what makes me look. So, and then mushrooms, obviously, I said I can have in certain contexts.
That's
But,
interesting. How about, so are you a pineapple on pizza person, or?
Yeah.
All right, okay, yeah,
I'll try
same
that.
here.
I
But
like
it's
that.
weird how for some reason, those who aren't, they're so like out and out about it. Like, that's disgusting.
Nah, do
They're
you know what?
likening it to like the most disgusting and vile things you could
The
ever do in
internet
life.
did
And I
that.
don't get that.
The internet did that.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
the internet made it like a common thing to either. It's like it's the internet's version of Marmite. You
Yeah.
either love it or you hate it. It's
Yeah.
one of them ones. So I don't think people that don't eat pineapple on pizza have an ingrained disdain for it. I
Yeah.
think they just don't eat it and they think, oh, that's disgusting. But when the internet was like dividing everybody over it, they were
Yeah.
like, right, you have to pick a side.
And that's one wrong thing the internet done, because with Marmite it was like you're either or, end of no
Even
big deal.
Marmite-
but
even
with
Marmite
pineapple it
made
was
it-
like
made it
you
that
must
campaign.
fight the other side. You must kill the other people because they like it or don't. It's like
Yeah, exactly. Man made ops out of people. But even Marmite, they made a campaign out of you either love it or you hate it.
oh, okay.
So it was- they
which
was-
was really clever, you know. It wasn't like let's try and get everyone on
Then
side.
they were targeting the people that liked it and was like, if you rate us, ride or die.
Yeah.
They were like ride or die. They made everyone be like, right. They know their market. They
Exactly.
obviously know who.
And those who are in the boat are gonna ride for it.
Exactly.
I love when brands do that, when they polarize and split rather than try to be like, oh, we want everyone to like our thing.
Yes.
They're like, look, those who do like us, love us, and they will shout to the hills about us.
Exactly.
Those who don't, not bothered about you. In fact, we want you to hate us more because either way, we're being talked about. You know what I mean?
Smart, bro.
And it's brilliant. It's
Smart.
great. It's great.
So yeah, mushroom. You like mushrooms? You ever been to Amsterdam?
Yeah, I've been to Amsterdam
You did mushrooms?
once. Nah. Like, do you know what the thing is? Like, I am scared of all those things.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because like at a very early stage, like my exposure and hearing stories about, I heard real horror stories about like, and I'll be the unlucky sod that like on my first attempt of anything like that,
Oh, jump off
I
the
would
bridge.
have the worst
I'll
reaction.
be
or
swimming in
something.
the canal.
Do you know what I mean? So, and I know myself as well in terms of like, if it's something that I liked as well, like I would be like, if I discover something new that I
Like
enjoy,
a space cake.
yeah, it wouldn't be the end for me. That would be it. I'll be like, I am living here now because they have a ready supply of what I need.
Oh. Do you know the story about? I'll probably bleep this out, but just in case they don't want me to talk about it on,
Yeah.
public.
Are you gonna drop a name?
Yeah.
Okay.
But did you ever hear about the story of you?
Damn!
Davos? Before.
Do you know what? In my life of trips I've taken away with the boys, that trip, right? Switzerland and the trajectory of everything was just correct because it was the right mix of characters.
Yeah,
it was the right setting where it wasn't like your usual destination where people go away, they get Larry, whatever.
Yeah.
It was so, I think, kind of, well, for me anyway, it was out of the norm because I don't go to snow ski holidays. I do.
You and T didn't really.
That was my
you,
first
T,
time
and you
skiing.
and- Yeah.
Yeah, so for pretty much half the group, that was, well, they've skied before, but that was my first time
Yeah, 'cause
trying
I've
and
been
attempting.
skiing. I hadn't been skiing for years, but I feel like it was something that when I learned it properly.
Yeah.
So although I haven't been.
I
for
could
years,
tell with the snowboard and you were like, you were
and
cutting
then
it up like,
obviously, Swiss Miss Ben, he's grown up on that shit, so he was fully adapted.
from 2 years old, you're on.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you used to skate when you were a kid? Is that like, were you a skater or?
I wasn't a skater, but I did have skates. I had rollerblades.
Oh,
so
okay.
I skated.
Did you ever
I could do
skateboard?
that. No, I didn't. I've never snowboarded and I've never skateboarded.
Oh, right,
That I've
okay.
never actually done.
Yeah.
But skating, like roller skates, rollerblades,
Yeah.
ice skates, that I'm comfortable with. Like
okay.
I've been that was actually something I was thinking about doing over lockdown because I was like,
Yeah.
are they gonna have restrictions? It'd be very easy to keep somewhat easy to keep social distancing, I guess. But yes, ice skating is I'm kind of good at that. That's something I used to do when we were younger. Like,
Oh, okay.
we used to go to Whiteley's. It was
Okay.
in London. Is it Whiteley's? White City? No, Whiteley's. If you're from London, you know what I'm talking about. But it was like an arcade,
Yeah.
ice rink. Like it had like I think it had a Wendy's in there.
Oh, snap.
No, is it Wendy's? Had one of them American burger joint places.
Yeah.
So I had one of them, and it was just a dope place to go hang out. And obviously, I started going when I
What
was like,
Wimpy was it? Like,
Wimpy. That's
Wimpy,
the one, not
yeah.
Wendy's. Wendy's is the American thing. But obviously, 13, 14, you go through the day
yeah.
and you're like, yeah, we'll pull up, go with the mandem and just chill. There was girls.
Yeah,
Obviously,
of
there
course.
was. I don't know if there was a DJ,
That interaction
but I
was
remember.
crucial.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
there were they had a dope sound. Like
Yeah.
they were playing all the new things.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So you were going there. It was like for us, it was just a dope hangout because it had everything you needed. You didn't even need to leave that building, really.
Yeah.
And then obviously there was a cinema in the complex down the road. Oh, and next to it there was this bad boy shawarma spot.
Oh, okay.
Bad boy. That was like the motive. You go there.
Yeah.
You do a little bit of ice skating. You chat to some girls. If
Yeah.
you was flamboyant with it, you was doing skills and that to show off.
Of
One
course,
brother.
of course.
I remember one guy. I was there.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to a girl, and I'd seen her before.
Yeah.
But I didn't know her well enough. But I that way when my friends know her friends kind of thing.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, you know what, let me just go chat to her. So I've gone and chat to her, whatever. And we're vibes in. And then I go and get a drink.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a drink. And I said, oh, do you want one? So she said, yeah. And she goes to come off with me.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, now I'll be like, yeah, come with me because then we can continue the conversation. Nothing has to break.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, no, trying to do the chivalrous. No, you wait here. I'll go and get it. All of that. So I've come back.
B-Tech chivalry.
I didn't
Them
know,
early
bruv,
stage.
I was 13, maybe 14 at the time, bro. I was new to the game.
I can guess what happened, but continue. I'm guessing.
So, one brother who he's just come up and he started chatting, chirping together. I was chatting to.
Yeah.
So I've come back over with a drink. Now he's a little bit older than me. He must be about 15, 16 at the time.
Yeah.
And you know that way where 13 to 15, 2-year gap ain't nothing now.
Yeah.
But 13 to 15, his lyrics, he was ahead of the game.
Lyrical splendor.
Exactly.
Lyrical mastery.
To be fair, if I heard what he said now
marksman
with
of
my grown
sorts.
ears,
Yeah.
I think that's foolishness. But he had 2 years of game, and obviously he was older, so you know how girls are like the older guy is always a bit more appealing. She was my age. So now I come back and I'm like offering her the drink, and he's like, no, big man, she's cool. No, he takes it. He's like, no, she's cool. Is that for me? Yeah.
Wow.
And I was just kind of like, this is the first
Taken
time.
aback.
This is the first time someone's done something.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? Because I don't want to fight him.
Yeah.
Because I think that's too far. And I'm not that, insecure where I'm at. But at the same time, that's disrespectful, bruv.
Imagine.
I feel like
and
I
she's
need to
witnessing all
regulate.
of this unfold.
So she's seeing it, but
And she's
then
wondering, what is he
but
gonna
then
do?
I've deeped the girl's kind of like reaction to it all.
Okay.
And she's kind of looking at me like,
Leave it.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
but I don't want to make this awkward.
Right.
As in like, just do you be the peaceful one? You be the bigger man kind of thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's not gonna be that person.
Yeah. It's mad how girls can get that across with eye contact. They can tell you a full paragraph with just like, I mean,
Hold on one sec.
that's crazy.
But yeah, so I'm deep in it now, and I'm like, what do I do in this scenario?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's still talking or whatever. I've kind of stepped back.
Yeah.
And I'm in like the little seating area, but you can still see it. And sorry, bloody hell.
Please tell me you stepped back and you stumbled or something. Turn this into like a comedy scenario.
No. So at the same time, one of my boys has come up. So I've been like, all right, cool. I'll just chat to him.
Yeah.
Whilst whatever's happening. So I'm feeling a bit defeated at this point. I'm thinking, no. So I've told my brethren. And he's been like, who? Which one? So I'm like, I shouldn't have told you. You're
not the wrong one to tell.
You're the wrong. I've told you this because you're the only one around.
Someone who's on task and immediately it's like, but he doesn't even know the context of how smoothly it happens.
Yeah, I was chatting to this girl and this guy's just come and think, oh, what you chatting to? And this guy on smoke instantly. So anyway, I'm just like, nah. And he's like, who? Show me.
Yeah.
So I've shown him. At this point, the guy's with the girl.
Yeah.
She's like skating, but he's kind of like following her.
Oh, okay.
At that point, I was like, all right, cool. She's coming back. So that's what made me feel even more like, nah, it's long. 'Cause she's coming back to me anyway.
Yeah.
So at this point, he's playing the chasing game. So he's trying to do all the showy. This brother dropped like you would, like in cartoons.
Yeah.
When the 2 feet leave you and they end up over your head. He landed shoulder blades to the ice. Fam, when it's like, bro, John Cena caught man. Didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And he just collapsed on the ice.
Yeah.
Bro,
Poetry
I tell you, the whole ice rink were busting up.
Yeah.
Everyone on the ice rink, little kids skate.
God.
Little kids. Yeah, exactly.
See God.
Exactly. Baba God.
Ew.
So I'm thinking to myself, so everyone's laughing, right?
Yeah.
So and even the girls like looking at him, like laughing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, as he tried to get up, the leg that's holding him up was giving way, so he dropped again.
Oh.
Fam, it was not a good day for him. So anyway, at that point, the girl kind of circles back around and comes to see me. She's like, oh, did you see that? I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, well, now I get to chat to you. And, well, boy, the rest is history.
It redeemed itself.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny you bring up that scenario.
Move differently on you.
Yeah, man. Funny you bring up that scenario because I've been in a similar situation. But the hilarity that ensued on my situation was we were in I think it was like under 18s clubs at that time, do you know what I mean? And a friend of mine, here in Edinburgh. So a friend of mine was obviously this girl I've been talking to, and a similar thing goes where some dude just steps in. You know, one of the older dudes steps in.
The older man.
And it's one of those ones where it's just like, okay, there's a decision to be made here. But the hilarity, like the next, almost like, I don't know, very short time passed, and a friend of mine obviously witnessed what was going on, and I went over and I was just like, yo, it's kind of peak, man. Like, I'm at a loss. Like, what do I do? Because if I get into any sort of trouble in here, I'm not getting back in this place.
Yeah.
And they were very tight with security and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, at those ages, there was no real even fights going on. It was like shoving tussles and hold me back kind of thing. That sort of thing going on.
Me and you grew up in different places, but carry on.
Yeah, but here it was a lot of hold me back, like tussle, shuffle, blah, blah. Then it was funny because like one of my friends at the time who was like, oh, do you know what? Where is he? Who is he? Like, yeah, we'll sort this out.
Yeah.
You know, one of those guys who's just like, yeah, on smoke, on job. He was like fully pumped up and like, yeah.
Someone I know to this
Then
day.
yeah, it's funny. Someone you know.
I think I don't know.
But then
That behavior
the
is a
funny
trademark.
the funny thing about this is this moment. I'll never forget this moment. Then he's just like, oh, but who is he? And then I'll obviously go around the corner. I'm like, yeah, it's that dude over there. That when he assessed the imminent danger and he saw the way the dude was built, he came back to me and it was just like, yo, let's discuss this real quick. Let's like, all of a sudden, all the smoke and all the energy of like, oh yeah, like it's going down, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, that can't go down, blah, blah.
Something real quick.
Yeah, real quick, he was like, trying to take me into a conference real quick. And trying to convince me and be like,
gathered here today.
listen, yeah, like a lot of long words were coming out. And like,
You know when man
due
around.
consideration, implications, those kind of
I
words.
start speaking in workplace emails.
Kind regards. And I was just like, do you know what? This is funny for what it is, because this happens all the time. No matter what end of this you're on, whether you're the doer, the shegger, or the receiver
Or the
of
sheg-
the shegging.
Yeah.
The shegger.
sheggy.
The sheggy. Do you know what I mean? But it happens. It bees like that, especially at that age, man. That shit happens all the time.
Bruv,
and it's funny.
That's
it's
a good
hilarious.
time to learn those lessons, boy. You have to just charge it to the game and keep it stepping.
Do you know what? But respect for him looking back, because I was like, yeah, at this early stage, you won't find yourself in a situation where you get your caved in over nonsense, your head caved in over nonsense, because you know your own ability and you're honest with yourself. You know, one of these gassed up guys who's just like, do you know what? Come what may. Cool. Do come what may over there. Me, I'll, you know what I mean? Take all that energy, and then when you get your head caved in by the older kid, you come back and then.
long,
you know what I mean?
bruv.
But he learned them long words from the jump, and he took me into a conference, into a quiet corner, and he was like, respectfully, calmly. I mean, implications, consideration, due consideration. I was like, all right, cool. But it was hilarious, man.
But you know what? It's funny because if ever I was in some sort of foolishness, like a beef or like fighting someone, especially if it was at school,
yeah,
I was more scared of getting into a fight or losing the fight because of my mum. I can't go home and be like, Mum, some kids beat me up.
yeah,
Like I know, like knowing my mum now, she wouldn't have made me feel bad about it. But like back then, my perception was, I know my mum's like, my mum always says, don't ever throw the first punch.
Yeah.
If you throw the first punch or kick or whatever,
Yeah.
then you're the one to be held responsible.
yeah,
Learn to firm it first,
yeah,
and then what happens after that, you can say you're acting in self-defense.
yeah.
So that's always been in my head from when I was a youth. Like, I'm not going to be the aggressor here. I'm not going to be well, back then I was like, I might have been the aggressor, but I was never going to be the one to throw the first punch.
Yeah.
I was going to just say what I had to say. If you didn't like it and you want to swing for man, if you miss, you still swung.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
so like, I'm thinking to myself, if I get into a fight and the teachers tell my mum what happened, they are throwing on all the sort. They are embellishing the story beyond.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, like, I took a whole brick and I threw it at the boy's face. Do you know what I mean? They
exactly.
bare seasoning on the sauce, on the incident.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, no, I don't want my mum, because me getting into a fight is not really the issue.
Yeah.
My mum being told by the school is the issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, right, I can't get into a fight here.
Yeah.
So obviously it would be all right, meet me at 3:30 outside, whatever.
Yeah.
Find me outside, catch me outside days, you know,
Yeah.
them ones there. So I'm thinking to myself,
And the
all right,
whole school's buzzing about it. It's like, oh, there's a fight
it's
going down.
3:30. You're in the
Yeah.
registration. Everyone's like, yeah, are you ready? And you have to fake like, hey, listen,
Obviously, of course.
I'm finishing, man. It's long. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
But I was never really a fighter like that. I have been in fights, and I'll tell you this: I've never lost a fight.
Yeah.
Especially at that age, bro, because I developed quite quickly.
Yeah.
So I was always getting into fights with, not always, but I got into fights with older kids.
Yeah.
And they soon realized, yeah, Liam's not a joke.
Yeah.
So, them things would pop off, and I was just like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't want this to happen in front where someone can tell my mum before I've told my mum.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if I get into a fight and I get in trouble for
Yeah.
it, and I lost,
Yeah. Worst.
Fam.
See, that's interesting
I'm not getting.
because
My mum won't see me the same.
Yeah,
Look at that. So you got into a fight.
Yeah.
You got into a fight with somebody.
Yeah.
And you got in trouble, or you got detention,
and you lost.
and you did all that to lose.
Yeah.
Go
You know
stay. Go stay at your dad's house.
That's interesting because like I mean in those formative years, like I never found myself in any kind of there was only like on I think 3 occasions where it was like a schoolyard situation where it's like, yeah, a fight's gonna go down, this, that, and the next thing. But one thing that I always remember very early on is like at another school that was very close by, there was an incident where 2 kids went at it. And it was, I think, the very first thing that happened in the fight was one kid shoved the other kid, a clean shove like that. The other kid dropped down. First thing that hits the ground is the back of his head, and that kid died.
Yeah.
Do you know
Oh,
what I mean?
surreal.
Yeah. So at that, the timing of it, like they actually passed away. Like that was like a very big incident that was talked about quite a lot. So it was always interesting because for me, those kind of situations, everyone at the school, after that incident, you hardly ever heard of any sort of like, there's a fight happening at 3:30, blah, blah.
Because it's a realization.
There were fights,
It's a
but
realization.
people didn't do a build-up and make a big hype about it and all that sort of thing.
Because there's a realization at that point. It's like,
Yeah.
someone can actually die from this.
Yes, it can get very serious if,
Very
do you know what I mean?
quickly.
So that was another thing.
Back when my thing was like schools were fighting, and I think a lot of the people that went to my school, they were kind of, in a bad way, normalized to that level of violence.
Yeah.
So it was like, if some like Mandem was saying pre-match hype, pre-match zoning, they were like, I'm gonna shank him.
Yeah.
I'm like, obviously a 15-year-old, majority of 15-year-olds ain't gonna shank nobody.
Yeah.
Have you even held a knife outside of your kitchen?
Yeah.
No. But
Yeah.
that kind of attitude and that you know, to even think that's a normal thing to say.
Yeah, that's a go-to. That's an option, you know?
Because the thing is, if you did end up stabbing somebody,
Yeah.
and then people in your class are called into witness and called into question, be like, "Oh, what was he like before it happened?" He said, "Well, he said he was going to shank him."
So
that
there
goes
you go,
from
yeah.
that's murder, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because at that point it's established that it's premeditated.
Yeah.
So in my school, man, they were talking a whole bag of nonsense, bro. But
Yeah.
you know, and some people did a really big
Follow through.
situation happened outside of my school, but you know, everyone that went to school kind of knew the victim.
Yeah.
And sadly, it changed things for a little bit, for a
Okay.
little while, but
Yeah.
it didn't stop it at all.
Yeah.
Not like to the degree that your thing happened.
Yeah,
because I think with yours there were a lot of witnesses, right?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, so
the
only a
weight,
few people
the weight
witnessed
of
what
it,
happened.
like carrying through from that, even in our household, where my mother would use that as an example. Because there was one time where I did actually get into a situation, a bit of a scuffle, and she was just like, "Look, being very honest, like." She came at it from the "I'm disappointed" route, and it's the "we didn't raise you to be fighting," blah blah. And I had to explain myself
You
and say
didn't come
like,
to
"Look,
this country
exactly
to
to be
do fisticuffs."
doing gang warfare and fights. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, firstly, words like gang warfare, we're two knuckleheads,
extreme,
we're
by
two
the way.
idiot kids who don't even know how to properly turn someone's lights out.
What's gang?
Do you know what I mean? We know how to throw shit punches that will probably just like rattle someone, but will not send
You know what's
someone good
funny?
night. So
you know what's funny? I've seen some people fight, and I'm like, it just ends up with two people grappling each other and doing that high knee.
Yeah.
To try
in terms of defining that as a fight, and it's just like, all right, look, we've got a difference. We're going to scuffle a little while, and then that'll be the end of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then after that, in her mind, obviously, she's concerned and she's worried that it's like
Pulling out
the worst
whaps,
case.
licking them from the side.
Exactly. She thinks the worst, and then that incident happens, and then she's like, oh, she always comes at it from the guilt point of like, look, we didn't raise you to be out here causing trouble. And then I had to defend myself and say, look, trouble came and found me. I didn't start it. I didn't go out looking for this. I never go out looking for this. But sometimes it will come find you. And when you do, it's just a thing of like, I wasn't throwing mad punch. I was just defending myself because I didn't want to get punched in the face. You know what I mean?
Life, man. But you know what it is? Like, it's quite funny because any incident that I've been in, whether I've been in the wrong or not, my mum's always kind of like, and I didn't notice it at the time because I thought she was having a go at me, but it sounded like at the time that she was saying it was my fault and I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with a bit of better wordplay, and I've only realised this kind of like in hindsight, what my mum was saying is, these things are going to happen to you, whether you're paying attention or you're looking for it or not.
Yeah.
You need to be more aware of the consequences of what can happen so that when this does happen, you can avoid any further drama.
Yeah.
And one thing she said to me, she's like, I remember we had this conversation when I was like 15, I think.
Yeah.
Or 16. No, it was just before I turned 16. And she says, look, Aleem, you're getting older now. As soon as you hit 18, they're going to treat you like a man.
Yeah.
If you behave this way, even a day after your 18th birthday, you are going to men's prison.
Yeah.
It is a different
My mum used that one as well. Yeah.
She was like, they will lock your ass up
with
and
big grown
dash
men.
away the key.
Yeah. They won't
And I'm
care
thinking
that
to
you just turned 18.
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I hear what you're saying, but it still sounded like she was saying it's my fault. But what she was saying is, look, you need to find a way to avoid, if not find a way that you can get out of it. Because the last thing you need to be doing is getting in trouble with the police.
Exactly.
And lo and behold, man, like I've been in my fair few situations that have resulted me being arrested.
Yeah.
And put in the cells for a night.
Yeah.
But that's like the first time I was the aggressor by law, but by anyone's standard, that person deserved to get smacked in the face.
Right, okay.
And it just so happens that because of the scenario, because of the situation I was in, I'll go into details about that story in another time, but like because of the scenario I was in, I was definitely going to get arrested.
Yeah.
And then the second time was just your classic, you go to a nightclub, doorman and bouncers are being aggy, they step out of line, they take it too far, the man then galvanize, and everything just pops off in the rave. And I'm the one whose name is on the table. And I'm the one that's like in the thick of it kind of thing. So that happens. So I got put in the cells for that thing. Needless to say, both charges got dropped because they realized that, I was not in the right, but morally, I was in the right to defend myself. But when you're dealing with certain people, they know what to say to the authorities to make it look like you were the person that was arrested, that was causing trouble, and then that gets rid of you in that period of time. So obviously I don't have a criminal record or whatever, but it's mad. But I've always, other than that, especially when I'm like, if I'm the one hosting and that, or I'm DJing, I don't want to be the DJ that turns up to the club and starts fighting punters. Do you know what I mean? How's that gonna look?
Oh, he's the punching DJ.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? DJ punch a lot. Like, he scratches on the decks and he punches on the dance floor, like swinging, man. Like, so I was just like, right, for my own reputation.
Get a VIP table, you are guaranteed a swing from DJ ELLiNGTONE. They start listing that on the Shub's listing for like what you can get, the different tiers.
On the night,
put you in a headlock
DJ
for an extra £20
on the night playing R&B, hip hop, bashment, and swinging bows. Come in, I just finished my set, flinging the gum shot. Right, that's what it is. But now, so you get to the state.
In my mind, I just had like a vision of like everyone stopping dancing and being like, "Yo, that's ELLiNGTONE off the decks now." And people scrambling, scramble. Yo, that's ELLiNGTONE off the decks now. By the way,
I just have to drop the details.
And you just like rolling your sleeves,
right? Who wants some of that? But nah. So as you get older, as I've gotten older, I've realized, you know what? I don't need to fight anyone. that momentary release of aggression
Yeah.
can ultimately land me in a situation that could
deeper
ruin the
place,
rest of
man.
my life. Or
Yeah.
I could do like what happened with your man's in when you were younger.
Yeah.
I could push somebody. And
Exactly.
they could go flying and then lick the head off the curb. And especially in that environment, you don't know how drunk people are.
Exactly. Someone
See what
could
I'm
go
saying?
flying just off a little tap.
Yeah,
you know,
man,
put
something
someone in their
small.
place with a little nudge, and they go flying. They hit the edge of, you know what I mean?
Do you know what
Whatever,
it is?
the
It's
bar,
gotten to,
table, whatever.
it's I'm at the stage now where like if I'm in the rave or whatever and somebody's pushing,
Yeah.
I'm not even confronting them. Because
Yeah.
when you look at them and they're doing all of that, and I'm just like, if I was like, oh, what's my man doing, and then pushed him,
Yeah.
he's not even in a position to hold himself if he goes flying.
True.
He drops, lands on the glass that's on the floor. I come out, all of that,
All of
madness.
that, all
So
of
at this point, I'm just at the stage of, I remember, learn to avoid
Yeah.
trouble. If
Yeah.
you see it coming, just a young sidestep.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your evening
See, that's-
slash life. Like,
Yeah, that's something that really gets me in terms of like a lot of places where you go and expect to mix with other adults who are of sound mind and sound. Obviously, alcohol, all that kind of stuff comes into it as well. But the amount of people who just don't know the basics of conflict resolution, know your environment, know your surroundings, know your audience, know who you're dealing with as well. Because if you are there fully sober, and then someone stumbles into you, they happen to be drunk, and you're in a place where people drink. It's not like you're in a place where you don't expect that. You're in a place where people are drinking, people are a little bit inebriated, maybe not sturdy on their feet, they nudge you. Then it's like, yeah, more time, give that a pass. A lot of people do. But some people treat it like it's their first time getting nudged by anyone. And they do the whole kickoff and and it's like, you could just continue your evening and let that go and just be like, do you know what? Look at this guy. He's clearly a little bit drunk, blah, blah. Some people take it to heart like, oh, you nudged me specifically because you saw me to be weak.
Like it was-
So now I'm going to show
must
you.
defend my surname.
This ain't even my final
family
form.
home.
I am going to show you,
Pull up
son.
to the bread and share your energy with me. Start evolving as a super.
Start trying to go Super Saiyan and that. It's like, yo, dude, just know what's happening and just, do you know what I mean?
Just allow it, man.
Live a nice life. Go home and enjoy. Just, do you know what I mean? Just be a bit more.
Do you know what's funny? I used to say this when I was at uni more time, and I was like, me and my friends that I made at uni when we were living together, we were going on nights out, and people would just, you would see people starting problems.
Yeah.
And then I've got a friend who I lived with at the time, big Welsh guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's because he's got a smart mouth on him, but he's witty.
Oh, okay.
It's like, if you meet him, you'll be like, wow, that's edgy, but it's also funny.
Oh, okay.
So whatever you've said that might be borderline offensive will allow you because it's funny. Do you know what I mean? It's like comedy comes with the insult kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he's like that. But obviously, sometimes you hit the wrong target and that person reacts.
Yeah.
And again, he's big.
Yeah.
Not fat big. He's like 6'4". He's like, he was, at the time, he was like, we were playing basketball, going gym. So he's stacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He played basketball for Wales national team. Out
Okay.
of all the Welsh people, you know what I mean? Might not mean much to a lot of people, but do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's that kind of build. He's a basketball build.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I always used to think of it objectively, and I'm like, why would you pick a fight with this guy? Do you think you're on level?
All your options
Like, first of
in
all,
the universe.
First of all, he's just bantering with you.
Yeah.
But if you don't see the banter side of it,
Yeah.
the most you should be doing, if you don't know him, is just saying, fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
And then go about your business.
Yeah.
Don't square up to him. Do you know what I mean? And I used to see that often. I was just like, because there was a point, I remember when I first started going out with him and this happened,
Yeah.
I was ready. I was like, all right, look, what do you want to do? He's like, look, mate, I can already tell he's not going to do nothing because if he was do it already. And I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I know. I hear what you're saying. I momentarily forgot that fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, bad man don't talk.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there would be a few times where they'd like someone would throw the wayward punch and then he would just be like, "Bah," and that was it. He was
And
never
it was-
aggressive.
yeah.
With it. It was almost like
Finisher.
It was almost.
Done.
It was almost
Or even.
Do you know,
Yeah.
this guy. I've seen this guy like not knock out but punch.
Yeah.
A good few people in the name of self-defense. Like
Yeah.
after they've swung on him.
Yeah.
And it just looked poetic. like,
Oh, mate.
like watching it live is almost
Yeah.
like. Du, 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 du,
Do you know what? I've seen one of those. One of my friends actually is from Dumfries,
With
and again,
grace
rugby
and
player.
elegance.
He's built. Do you know what I mean? Like, and similarly, he did the same thing, but he was holding a drink. Do you know how beautiful that is to watch? Where he's holding a pint in his hand, the pint does not spill, but he side saddles a guy, and that drink is still sturdy and.
Fam,
And do you know what?
them man, they are cut from a different
Insult
kind of
to
cloth.
injury. Because the person who tried to start on him and come as the aggressor and do all these kind of things, they were doing all kinds of things to like make a scene and make everyone blah blah. The way he quietened it down by he ignored the guy because he's taller than him, so he actually looked over the guy like this, like the music
boy
played,
ting.
and he was just like
Boy ting.
nodding his head, like still kind of dancing with his pint. And this guy is down here trying to make a scene and be like, "Oh, it's about to start. It's about to start." And then
Oh,
the way
Kevin Hart.
the way he
Oh,
did
it's
like.
about to go down.
And then the beauty of the way he just did like a very direct rabbit punch. It was so quick. And it was like, yo, you could have put your pint down or something. He was holding his drink. He
No
did the
need.
rabbit punch. The guy hit the ground. And it was like,
Slumped.
for anyone who didn't turn around, they didn't even know something was happening. And I was just like,
Beautiful. Do you know what that's like? That's like a right hook version of a silencer on a gun.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
quickly and then just carry on. That's some James.
But then I
Bond-
started to
some
question-
James Bond shit, bro.
That's when I started to question. And I was just like, bro,
What do you do for a living?
Who are you again, please? And what? Yeah, what's the story? Because most other people would have been like, obviously, you're aware something's about put the drink down, all sorts of like, you know what I mean?
ready.
But he was very much like,
Let him
and I was like,
hold the rolly, fam.
exactly.
And then he
It
was
looks like you do this a lot. This happens to you a lot. And he's like, I don't know what it is. Like people, I think it's maybe his height thing.
That's
People
what
are
it is.
intimidated by that, and they always want to try it on him. I
So
don't know.
this is exactly.
And he's
what-
not a cheeky fellow or anything like that who goes.
This is exactly what it was like for my brother James, because he was like, it was always that way. It was
Yeah.
always like, I think people see you as a target, and they see you as somebody that is bigger than them,
Yeah.
but because you're playful and you're banterful,
Yeah.
they feel like maybe
You
they
know,
can get easy points
have
on
it.
you,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
you know those points are amplified because you're bigger.
Yeah.
but
it's a good medal
just
to have.
you don't have to be. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like a good stripe. It's like
Yeah.
a badge of honor. It's like you don't have to be just because you're big doesn't mean you're aggressive,
Yeah.
and just because you can do damage doesn't mean you have to look like you can do damage.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like this player wasn't. My boy is not out to hurt nobody.
Yeah.
but if you try to,
you try
bring
and
it to him,
push a
he's
button.
gonna do what he needs to do.
Yeah, of
And,
course.
and he's not gonna do it excessively. And that's when we were like, for men at least, getting punched in the face is a good lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Because you
Early.
know, early, because
Early.
then you know where you stand.
Yeah.
you know where you stand, and I think the man them that confirm the punch
Yeah.
are the ones that aren't really looking for beef. They're like, oh, I confirmed the punch, so I don't need to prove myself.
Yeah.
I know that if somebody swings on me, it's not me that's going down first.
Yeah.
But then the man them that are just like, they've never really been in a scuffle, you know, they've been sheltered all their life or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, no one should have to go through hard times. But if you've been punched in the face, even if it's from like your dad or uncle or a relative or an older brother,
Yeah.
if you've got that blunt force trauma
Yeah.
to your side of your face,
Yeah.
bow,
Exactly.
then you're just
There's
like, oh,
repercussions
that's what
for-
that feels like.
Yeah.
Then any situation you get yourself into that might result in that, you're like, right,
Yeah.
am I willing to feel that again?
Yeah.
Nah, it's
Exactly.
long. We don't need to go
Same
down
way
that
as a
route.
child putting your hand in a fire and then your fingers get burnt and then you're like straight on. So maybe
Precisely.
don't do that in future. It's that kind of thing.
Precisely.
But do you know what? Of all of these scenarios, one thing that I really miss and one thing that makes me think like, damn, we've been in the outfall of COVID-19 for so long now. I miss that scenario of people watching out in a venue, like
Yeah.
out in a late night venue, and then just seeing things pop off. Because just similar to this story where you've got a wannabe aggressor, like in the corner, semi enjoying himself, but really he's trying to size people up and all that. Then you've got the people who are just like dancing like there's no tomorrow. You've got the people who are just taking Instagram photos.
Shout
It's
out
just
them
like
people, man. Shout out them
Yo.
people that are just moving mad on the dance floor. Like, it's obviously funny and you look at it.
like no one's watching for
what is
real,
going
for
on
real.
with you, but you're vibing.
Yeah, but you know
You
what?
are vibing.
Sometimes you see them people and it's just like, yeah, you're vibing, but big man, is everything okay at home? Because the way you're dancing, it's like you are dropping beads of sweat.
Man trying to dance away his stress.
Exactly. So it's like you are dropping very big beads of stress.
Dance through it all,
People
bro.
are worried about you in this place. So please, Is everything okay at
You have to
home?
pull up on a man and just put your hand on his shoulder and be like, big man,
It's gonna be okay.
are you okay?
It's gonna be okay.
And then he starts breaking out crying. Nah, what have I got to myself into?
Exactly,
Now
bro,
you're at
bro.
the bar for about 2 hours with
With
somebody.
a new best friend. And then he follows you to the flipping when you go and take a piss and he's trying to tell you life stuff.
Or when you're trying
and
to
invite you to family events.
When you're trying to chat to her babes in the same night and he's pulling up on you. Hey,
Oh,
that's
this is my new mate.
No, big man.
you-
Go over there.
Nah. Can you not read the situation? Do you
Bro.
know? But this is the thing. Like, we thought we were going to be in this situation for 3 weeks in March. Here we are, end of the jam year, and we're still dealing with all this. Which actually, it makes me wonder. Just this week, they've announced the vaccine,
Yeah.
which is going to be rolled out as of next week. Very quickly, quick time. It's coming out.
I might not be going home for Christmas. That's my issue.
That's mad.
Because I don't know how moving around from Edinburgh, which is tier 3, to London, which is tier 2.
Yeah.
I don't know the legalities of it. One of my brethren, he booked a plane to go visit his family in Birmingham.
Yeah.
They cancelled that.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So when flights start getting cancelled, that's when I'm like, right.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if I pay for a train. Fucking train in December to London from Edinburgh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
two bills.
But real talk though, like regardless of the
have a
row,
flight for £42,
regardless
bro.
of the row, just don't go to Birmingham. Like, Birmingham's a place that you shouldn't go, even before before COVID. Just it's a place you shouldn't go.
I said that out loud, bro. I said,
Bro,
Simba Mufasa.
nah,
sitting
man,
on Lion Hill,
spent-
be like, what's that shadowy place over there? That's Birmingham.
That is Birmingham, bro. I've spent a lot of time in that part of the country, and yeah, I've seen some things pop off and go down there where it's just like, is this place real? Like,
They are unruly people, bro.
do you know what? Like, a lot of the kind of
Unruly.
tame and, I mean, there's, you know, in certain situations where you think, okay, maybe it's just the bunch that I'm rolling with while I'm down here. But then you start to get more different circles of people and the things that they are accustomed to in
They all
everyday
had the
life.
same stories.
Yes. And then you start to be like, wow, this is the Badlands
What
here.
is in the
and that's not
water
all
in
of
Birmingham?
That's not
In
all of
Birmingham.
Birmingham, but some parts it's just like, yeah, you guys live a different lifestyle down here. Do you know what I mean?
So-
One that I'm not used to, not talking it down
On that
because
note,
yeah, I mean,
let's not badmouth Birmingham because it's not even that far to drive and chef, man.
Imagine.
And I feel like people from Birmingham are prone to doing that in their own town. So who am I?
exactly. But man, it's all deep. Well, this is gonna be a segue, but
Yeah, that's
let me
fine. Because I'm going to check something because I've just noticed something that's really going to upset me if it's...
yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully...
Let me get some of that juice, please,
No,
bro.
oh, yeah. How am I listening to this? Is it not tight enough? No.
Yeah, that's it tight now, but it wasn't before, but that's it perfect now.
I'm going to cry if this has affected it. Like, it should do. It wouldn't make sense.
What is it?
The metronome was on. But if I can't hear it, it shouldn't be. There's no way.
Yeah, that's
there's
just in the cans.
Yeah, there's no way it will feed back into the recording because
Yeah.
I can't hear it, so it's definitely not coming through the mic. And I haven't set up any internals.
Yeah. I'm not revisiting stuff from yesterday. Already had it on an episode when we've not, because we've talked about it. Do you know what I mean?
So what else did we talk about? We can go on to the vaccine thing.
Nah, but there's not much there. Do you know what I mean?
You know what as
quick,
well?
It's a
I
quick
can't-
touch. Cool.
Yeah, do you know what as well? See with that particular topic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even recording this. Hold on a sec. You see, with that particular obviously this is gonna get cut out anyway. But see, with that particular topic, it's like it's such a sensitive topic. Mm-hmm. No one's really sure. People think they're sure, and everyone's got like it's almost dividing the country again.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's again another thing that people just need to be like, you know what, like don't let it divide you, kind of thing. So, but yeah, man, we're all good.
She like the way that I'm Mago Mary.
Certain artists, right? They're able to pull off. Like, remember back in the day?
That is the lockdown anthem. That is the official anthem of international lockdown.
Like
Billie Jean.
I made an edit for it, but I've not actually rendered it. I've not actually completed it because I was like halfway through. I was like, fam, no one's gonna hear this edit, bro. It bangs. This is the club rhythm, the way I've made it, the drop on it, and I was like, no one's gonna hear this for a good few months. So let me just fall back and not get myself upset.
Absolute anthem, man.
But yeah, somebody.
What have you been listening to actually? What have you been listening to lately? Like, what's your go-to track just now of any genre?
Before I get into that, I'll tell you what I just discovered.
Yeah.
You know the intro of Temperature by Sean Paul?
Yeah.
You know, I only found out the other day what he's actually saying. I've never really tried to pay attention.
How does Temperature go in? Which one is that? Doom, 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 doom,
you know,
doom,
no,
doom.
no. Is it,
no.
Welcome, man, to get your time. Wanna be. Yeah, that one.
I want to be keeping you warm.
Yeah, that one, right? But you see the intro?
Yeah.
Oh, we go so that. Before that, what does he say?
Something naughty, shorty, rotty.
Bruv, that's what I figured out. He said 5,040 naughty shorties. Shut up, all.
Oh,
bro,
right. Okay.
I only found it out today. It's not even that deep. Bro, I know the whole Sizzler rhythm, pum 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 pum.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that until the other day.
Wow.
So yeah, them ones. So that's something I found out the other day. And the funny thing is, I was just playing it and I was like, wait, what is he saying? And then I played it again and I was like, 5,040. I was like, oh. And then obviously I went on the internet and just to confirm it, I was like, the whole time he's been saying this. And I'm not even, you know that way where you don't care to find out at the time. But in your head, you're like, I wonder, like what you just did. Like, I don't actually know what he's saying. I know the cadence of it. I know the rhythm of it, but I don't know the words he's saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I found out. So
that's
there you
deep.
go.
That's
5,040 naughty
Do you know, with so much of Sean Paul's music though, there's not really like he's got bubbling tunes. It's a bubbler. You dance regardless.
You don't really need
I've not broken down many of his lyrics.
To be fair, he's often enough, he's not saying anything of mad substance. He's not a lyricist.
Yeah.
No one's ever thought Sean Paul was a lyricist. In his early days, he would like his bars and his flow was good, but like now as years go on, he's just kind of become more like, oh, I'm just bringing a vibe. It doesn't even matter what I say. At this point. He's got his catchphrases, Shonda Paul, how we got to them.
Yeah.
I tried to explain. I've never felt bilingual, and I'm not. But I had to try and explain to somebody what how we got to them means.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, is this what it's like when people try to explain a translation, tries to translate something into a language that doesn't have the same meaning as like you'll know yourself as you'll hit someone to say, oh, what does that mean? It's like there's not really a word for it in English, or there's not really you don't really say it in English.
It's difficult to explain.
So this week I felt mad bilingual, boy. I thought, man knows stuff. I'm cultured. Oh, you swines out here speaking one language.
Future generations are gonna
look at you lot.
Future generations are gonna dig up some Sean Paul tunes and just be like, yeah, this is what people were going through these days. Or for artists, like they'll bring up Sean Paul and they'll be like, yeah.
But to be fair,
Bam bam. Hello, is anybody there? Bam bam. Datio. Do you know how many millions of people around the world who do not speak patois or who don't even know what language that is or anything, but they know these phrases? So you got to big him up because it's like, he's consistent and his stuff has got reach. Do you know what I mean? I always have respect for any artist where it's like they have a phrase or a song or something that has traveled to the reaches of this planet where people do not even, you know what I mean? They don't even speak the language.
By the way, have you heard Ghanaian drill?
Ghanaian drill?
Ghanaian drill.
No, I have not. Sir.
I've got some drill. I've got some tracks here. I can't play them obviously because it'll mess up the audio and we don't want to rehash that shit again. But I'll send you.
I've heard Japanese drill, And I was like,
real?
yeah, this is pretty dope. Yeah.
Oh, swear.
But not Ghanaian
But
drill.
I don't even know what the man are saying, boy.
Yeah.
But
do you know what?
I don't know what the Ghanaians are saying. They drop a little bit English in it though.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can kind of make out the context. And because me and you know what drill is centered around,
Yeah.
we can kind of
You get the
understand.
idea.
And the video kind of
The
explains
video
a
gives
lot.
it away.
It looks
When
the
a
same.
bunch of guys are standing there with big Rambo knives
That's what it is.
and firearms,
That's
you
exactly
kind of get the
what
idea.
is the thing in the sticks.
You kind of get the
but
gist.
the
yeah.
man are out here holding.
Yeah.
So, but it bangs, bruv. And again, I'm like looking at this thinking, I can't wait to showcase this shit because this will pop off. Like obviously, Tipsy is the place to do that stuff, man.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's loads of Ghanaians and then man love drill.
Yeah.
So it's one of them venues, but yeah, man.
It'll work. It'll work.
it'll
Do
work.
you know what? On the video tip, I saw one music video that I absolutely love by a drill artist. So Millions had his what was the tune? I think it's called Laga. The tune's
Yeah,
called.
Laga.
So
Laga.
whether I think he flew out to, was it Kenya, or he flew out and he filmed the video.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what? It's such a raw visual that in terms of like the whole drill thing where people are whatever, knives, firearms, like it took it to another extent because in these places, they really are walking around with big machetes like that.
Regular
And I was
rifles,
just
yeah,
like,
man.
do you know what? I was like, do you know what? The way they pulled this off, it's so raw. It's such a raw visual. It's not like a poverty porn video where it's like, we've come here, we're gonna drop a couple quid on you and everyone else in the village, pose for the camera and poverty safari real quick, then we're gonna bugger off. Like they were just having fun on this video
They were
shoot.
just in-
and you could tell everyone was just like, do you know what?
Because it just looked like they were just in that area.
Yeah.
And they happened to have a camera.
Yeah.
Do you know them ones?
Exactly.
They just captured
It's
the
natural
essence of it. Yeah,
and-
it's not.
yeah.
It's organic kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at it. Obviously, they would have shot it a certain way to capture certain things to make it coincide with the actual rhythm. But it's not overly produced.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no like dance breaks. There's no synchronized clothes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one's dressed in a certain uniform.
Yeah.
So yeah, I rate
dope.
when stuff is organic like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, even if it doesn't appeal to you or you don't like it,
Yeah.
you can't say it's rubbish.
Yeah,
You can't say it's
exactly.
crap because what that is it exists somewhere in this world. Just you don't appreciate it and
Yeah.
you never
So you can
witnessed
keep it moving, yeah.
So you can just be
It's
like,
genuine, it
it's not
comes
for
from a
me,
genuine
but
place.
I rate what it is kind of thing.
What they're going for.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another thing that I found quite funny this week. So Munya Chawawa, his Piers Morgan video, right? So Piers Morgan actually on Good Morning Britain reacting to hearing the tune. And I was just like, my guy, you are winning. Like,
Do you
Munya,
see?
you are
Like, and
winning.
he's got a record label now. With
Yeah, he just signed. Yeah, dope, man.
Sony Universal, I think it is.
Such a talented guy, man. He's going
Yeah.
to come out with so much cool content.
He is quick.
Yeah.
He came
Something
back
can
with a
happen at 8
response
PM.
to Chip before
Yeah.
Stormzy did. I mean,
Imagine.
Stormzy's still in, but he
Yeah.
came out within 24 hours.
Yeah.
He would have heard that the same time everyone else did.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that. I remember seeing the Grime Daily drop the Flowers video of him in the Shell garage.
Yeah.
Within flipping 4 or 5 hours. I might be exaggerating. Maybe it was like the next morning. This brother's got a whole
He
video.
dropped something here.
I said, first of all, you have put together this situation. You've written bars,
Yeah.
because they're original. You've written bars,
Yeah.
You've found a Shell garage,
Yeah.
You've filmed it, and you've edited it. You've mastered the track. You've done all of that in
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Your work ethic is on a different level.
Yeah,
my
he's
guy.
dedicated, man. He
Yeah.
is dedicated to what he does. And
We can't even do a simple audio.
hey, let's leave that out. Let's leave that out of this. Do you know what I mean?
Take us back to the 5 weeks.
Let's leave that out. Nah, man, but he's just so sick with it, and like what he's done at an early stage, and in terms of like resources and the time to do it and everything, I feel like now, obviously, we know how it is when you've got a side hustle. You're making content, but it's not your main thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not generating income or whatever. Do you know what I mean? At those early stages, to stick with it and be consistent. But now he's in a situation where he signed on the dotted line. He signed a deal. Do you know what I mean? And with label efforts, influence, all that comes resources, comes links to. So if he was able to do such high quality content in his living room, You know what I mean?
With
At the
one
very
camera,
beginning, with one
a
camera,
microphone.
so now when it's like there's
When
production
he's got
value
a team behind him,
Yeah.
a marketing strategy.
just imagine what he's gonna come out with.
That
Man.
present-
I'm so
yeah.
looking forward to like
For
everything
real,
he
for
does.
real. I rate him from back day when he was just doing the little videos, but even just to come up with the idea and the themes of what he does, just so
creative,
quickly.
yeah.
I'm like, you are on job constantly. Like you must be this way just in general.
Yeah.
You must be this way in general.
I'd love to spend a day with him and just.
See
I
what
think he's
happens.
one of these dudes who's just like, yeah, it'll be one thing after another because he seems like he's genuinely one who's like a funny dude
Yeah,
who will
yeah.
bring the banter.
But you know
No
what I
stop.
like most about him? And I think this is why he'll do very well in the UK.
Yeah.
He's got a very dry but satirical approach to his
Yeah,
banter.
yeah.
It's not overt. It's not characterized in the sense of like he's trying to like be himself, but on an extra level. He's
Yeah.
quite happy to adopt different characteristics.
Yeah,
And just run with them, but almost make them himself, like Unknown P.
yeah,
Fam, a posh drill artist. Do you know what that says about modern society?
yeah,
Like that has got so many references in just having that as a theme. A
Yeah.
posh drill artist.
Yeah.
Middle class, higher class,
Yeah.
but loving the gully shit. Fam,
Yeah.
you could write a thesis on what that means.
yeah.
Like in generations to come, when they dig up his shit out of the archive, they're
Yeah.
gonna be writing papers on it and
Exactly.
understand. Well, what
And
he was
breaking it
actually
down.
meaning in this point when he said
Yeah.
chefing, he wasn't actually referring to his Michelin star chef that he had. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like he's using the culture and making it translatable to people that wouldn't maybe even fuck with anything like that. And it's
Exactly.
but on top of
bangs.
that,
It bangs.
It's banter.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the bars, bro, I can
Cold,
appreciate,
cold,
but even
cold.
if they're not genuine bars, like they're not to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
The fact that he's come out with it, even if as like a comedy writer,
Yeah.
it's sick.
Yeah.
It's so dope, man.
In terms of like the delivery of, I mean, so many people have done satirical, like satire rap,
Big Shaq.
and piss take rap.
Big Shaq.
Do you know what I mean? So many people have done that, but in
Tingle
terms of
brrrr.
the way he delivers, like the way he goes about it with the different characters that he has, and especially the Unknown P character,
Funny.
it's just like this can transcend, and for so many reasons. You don't have to be a posh person. You don't have to be into drill. You don't have to be into UK style comedy. You don't have to be, but all of these worlds meet beautifully, and he's got a piece of everything in there.
He's found a. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm interested to know is how Americans will find that, because they already think we're on some they already think that's what drill artists are like.
Yeah.
Oh, you're from the UK and you
Yeah.
do rap? Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Like that shit ain't real. Like they look at it like y'all don't have hoods. I mean, bear in mind we don't do Chicago style hoodies.
Yeah.
But man, them are on the roads.
Yeah.
But he's made it look. He's almost. Some people might have a problem with that, but for me, I'm looking at it as that's what they already think we're like. So
Yeah.
now when you make fun of it,
Yeah.
you can almost be like, all right, I've seen, like he's illustrating to them what they have described, and they're gonna look at it and be like, yeah, that don't make sense. They must be deeper than that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. There's
Someone
gotta be
shows
more to
you what you've actually described, and they're like, yeah, that's not what I thought. That's not what is in my head, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I saw this one meme on Insta just the other day there, and it was Americans, obviously it's linked to Americans reacting to like UK drill and all this kind of thing.
Those videos
and then
are funny, bro.
There was a funny one where it was like some girl, one of these influencers, some girl from the States, and she was just like, yeah, I've dated a UK dude, and all you UK guys know is Nike Tech fleeces
I
and
saw
cheating.
that, yeah.
Nike Tech fleeces and cheating. And I was just like, wow. Like,
Nike
all
Tech
UK
fleeces.
guys know is Nike Tech fleeces and cheating.
A lot of shit going on.
Listen fast until you see what comes